After I work out, I like to start every morning by writing down my most important tasks for the day. I try to use a bullet journaling method. There are plenty of resources online about bullet journaling, so I'm not going to go into it unless anyone wants me to. Once I have my daily task written down, I try to bust out as much of it as I can before I leave to train jiu-jitsu. Currently, I'm working on getting the movement down for my character in-game. I don't have a lot of game dev experience, so I'm following through a tutorial on building a Stardew Valley clone. This is going to help me understand the inventory management systems they use so I can implement something similar into my game. A few things I've noticed have helped me was downloading the full code in these tutorials. This allows me to read through the material and follow along with the video. Doing this and then starting the project has let me fall less behind when watching the tutorials. It's almost like doing skim reading before reading through an article completely to get an understanding of what's going to come. The clock is ticking on my deep work, and it's about time for me to start getting ready to go to training. Starting off my pre-training, I'm drinking a cup of salt water for hydration. I also am fasting until 10 a.m. because I need to cut a little bit of weight off for my tournament in a month. After this, I take my fish oil, vitamin C, vitamin D3, and 5 grams of creatine. These supplements have all been proven to increase cognitive function and mood. If you want to learn more about them, check out the Huberman Lab podcast. I get a lot of health info from him. After this, I try to get some last minute info in by watching some instructionals for what I'm working on in training. I take a quick body shower to get any bacteria off before I grapple with anyone. This helps prevent skin disease such as staph infection and ringworm. Training went extremely well today. I felt strong in the positions I was working, and I had a lot of success with the judo I've been working on. Jiu-jitsu tends to be very similar to programming, and I believe anyone who has a love for programming will also enjoy jiu-jitsu. Each position has a system which I view similarly to a class system in programming, and within that we have certain parameters to get the finish or submission. I've noticed the more I view jiu-jitsu like building out a piece of software or a game, the better I have gotten. It has allowed me to group things into smaller, more bite-sized moves, creating systematic approaches to grappling, and it also gives me ways to debug my mistakes while live rolling. Using Google Docs, I try to write down any of my ideas I have for game functions I wish to implement later on. I've set up an automation in Python that moves all of these documents to my second brain in Notion. This is a method I learned from Tiago Forte on YouTube. This method lets me brain dump without cluttering any of my digital space. I also find it helpful when I go back to these notes because I can sift through things I still want to have in my project and discard the rest. If you enjoyed today's video, please like and subscribe. I'm going to try and post at least once a week about my game dev journey. Have a good week and try jiu-jitsu.